All right, guys, back with another network camera here. This particular one, in full disclosure, this manufacturer contacted me and wanted to send me one for review. And normally I turn most of the stuff down. I get offers all the time. But this one looked fairly decent. So I said, yeah, go ahead and send it. And I'll do a review on it. And I'm going to give you my honest review, good or bad. I'm going to tell you what I honestly think of it here. So anyway, this one is pan tilt zoom, and you can control it live from the app on your phone. The app is free. There's no monthly subscription for the service. All the recording is done within the camera on an SD card, but those recordings can be played back through the app onto your phone. So it works really. I mean, I was impressed with the app, but we'll get into that later. This particular one is called the Kittyhok Pro P2 2 megapixel lewd light camera. It's supposed to be floodlight because this particular camera either has an actual floodlight or infrared floodlight. So it can either be seen by the eye or not seen by the eye. It's got both. You can have either or both. It works pretty good. Anyway, this one has 4 times optical zoom. This is actually optical zoom, not digital zoom, and it's power pan tilt zoom. So right off the bat, this thing sounded pretty decent, so I had to check it out. Anyway, this isn't really an unboxing, but just to show you what comes in the package. The camera's already taken out, but I have never seen one of these things before. This is a complete package. I thought that was pretty nice. Anyway, I don't want to waste too much time on that. It came with the instruction book, of course, and it came with your connections to make your Ethernet cable if you choose to use an Ethernet cable. This is a Wi-Fi camera, but you can also connect it via Ethernet. So those are watertight connections for your Ethernet, and of course some mounting hardware. But anyway, so this is the manual, and but we'll get into the camera first, and we'll go into the manual later. Okay, I made this wood. I guess you'd call it a holding fixture just to hold it for the video. Right off the bat, the thing looks like it's made very well. And at first, I couldn't quite tell if this was plastic or metal, but I believe the body is plastic. And this mounting arm is plastic for sure. But it's fairly sturdy. I mean, it's rigid. It's good. It's made out of decent plastic as far as I can tell. I mean, I'm not a scientist, so got 2 Wi-Fi antennas that come with it, and then this pigtail comes out of the bottom of the camera, which it can either come out of the bottom of the camera, or if you drill a hole in, like, say, the wall of your house or whatever, you can run all the wires directly through from inside into the camera. What I have done in the past on situations like this, instead of drilling the big hole in your house to get all these cables through, I mount the camera to an electrical box. And then the electrical box is mounted to the house. And I can show you a picture of what I mean. I'll put up a picture right here. And that way all the electrical connections are inside the box, and then you're only drilling a small hole in your house for either a data cable or a power cable, depending on the camera. This one here we're using via Wi-Fi. But this one is not 100% cordless. This one does need a power cable, which comes with it. And so it's better than having to run a data cable and a power cable to all your camera locations, because obviously you got way more outlets in your house than, especially if it's an old house that isn't pre-wired for data cable. And the good news, or the good thing about this power adapter is the plug is very minimal. It's not this huge giant, you don't have to drill a, 1.5-inch hole in your house or whatever to get this little plug through. So they've minimized that as much as they could. And, but anyway, my overall impression on the outside of the camera is pretty good. But what really impressed me is its functionality. For its price point, this thing is loaded with features that I don't believe most other cameras could match. Let's get into how this thing works. When you're on your home network and you click a command like either power tilt or power pan or pan tilt zoom, when you click that function on your cell phone on your home Wi-Fi network, the camera responds instantly. I mean, that command goes through the camera instantly. Now, if you turn off your Wi-Fi on your cell phone and you force your cell phone to go through, say, the cellular network, and then it has the, that command has a further path to travel, it's again almost instantaneous. So, and that depends on which network you have and where you're located and all that. But there is very little to no delay when you send the camera a command to move. Now, obviously, the picture, 1080 HD, that's quite a bit more data. So there is about a 1 second lag with that. A command is very little data. The video itself does take about a second to actually respond. All right, I was able to set this up using an old Android tablet here, and it only displays in landscape mode, but on your modern device, whether it be an Android phone or an iPhone, it'll display in the portrait mode. But I just wanted to show you now, this is going through my home Wi-Fi network, and this tablet is only Wi-Fi. It does not have a cellular connection of its own. But to show you how fast it responds, now this command is going from the tablet to the router in the house, which is over 100 feet away through several walls, and then back to the camera. So you can see here, as soon as I hit the left button or the right button, the camera instantly responds. The camera instantly responds, but the video portion of it is a little bit of a lag, of course, because that's more data, but the command itself is instant. You can see the camera moving there. Works pretty good. Now let's get into the app itself. I want to show you the app. I've installed some screen recorder software on my cell phone so I can show you the app functioning. But of course, when that's happening, you won't be able to see the camera. But this way you can at least see the app. Let's go into that right now. Now I wanted to show you this owner's manual here. I read somewhere that somebody had a hard time getting this camera onto their network. Going onto it completely blind when I received the camera. This is the instruction book that came with mine, and this is the process that I use to get my camera onto my wireless network. And I didn't have any problems whatsoever. I thought this was very easy to read instructions, and it took no time, and I had the camera up and running on my network, and I had the app running on my phone, and the camera just worked. I had absolutely no trouble whatsoever. And so these are pretty simple to set up. Somebody else did say in that comment, the person that did have a hard time, they were able to get a hold of Kittyhawk's customer service, and their customer service sent them a video, and that video walked them through step by step, and that person got their problem solved. From the sound of it, that particular customer anyway, they had good luck with Kittyhawk's customer service. Just showing you the owner's manual here in case you want to stop and look at it for yourself. I'm sure if you bought this camera and you were struggling to get it connected, you'd get a hold of their customer service and they would be more than happy to give you a hand. So, but that's it right there. And then the one thing in that manual it talked about was the light flashing on the camera. Kittyhawk makes many different types of cameras, and in their diagram in the manual here, let's see if I can find it. In fact, in the diagram in their manual here, they ask, is the light on the camera flashing? Okay, right here it says, is the LED, let's see what it says. It says, is the LED indicator on device blinking? So I'm looking up like on the top of the camera for a light, and there isn't one. Well, what it was was on this Ethernet plug. You see that green light that's right there at the end of my finger? That's the light that they're referring to. So on this particular model of camera, that's the light that you need to be watching during the process when you're connecting this to your Wi-Fi network. And then they talk about hitting the reset button. This is the reset button. There's a little, a little cover that would snap over in place of it. It's hard to do with one hand. But in there, that's the reset button that you press that, and that starts the process of getting it connected to the Wi-Fi network. So that's the button, and that's the light that you need to look for. And then the other one is the power connector. So it's pretty easy. And there, in fact, there's their support at kittyhok.com. If you have any troubles, that's where you send them an email and they'll get right back to you. All right, guys, well, that's it. Overall, I'm very impressed with the quality and the features for the price. So anyway, if you're interested in buying one of these, they make it in 2 different models. This one is the 4x optical zoom. They make the same camera without the optical zoom. I think it's a digital zoom, and it's $20 cheaper. But the good news is the manufacturer has sent me a 15% discount code for these cameras. 15% off of each camera. And at the time this video was filmed, there was also a $5 coupon on the Amazon page already. So you take the 15% off plus the $5 coupon. Anyway, it's not a bad deal for the features that you get. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Please consider subscribing and hit that like button. It helps a guy out quite a bit. So thanks for watching.